So let's discuss what is frame. So frame is a secured block inside the HTML page. That means it is present in that inside HTML page, but it is kind of secured. That means in window handling, there are separate window open, so I have to handle it using a different page. But here it is present in the same page, still you cannot access it using the page variable. That means it's kind of secured HTML block which you have to switch if you want to access it. Just like if you have a house and you have a locker inside the house, so to access that locker, you need to have a key. But other racks you can directly access. Same concept. Just like a secured area in the same page where you have to switch the control to access it.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Now let's do what kept this URL. Here we have multiple frames in this page. So what I can do is I can have the URL. Okay. Now inside that particular frame, I want to access the inside that particular frame, I want to access some web element. Let's see I'm able to access or not without switching to it. Then we'll think of frame. Okay. Handling. So first is let's say this one, first one. I want to access the web element present in the first frame. Okay. This after frame 2, 3, first. Okay, the first is this one. So here we have a project details, right? Let me get the locator for that project details. Document. See, inside the frame, it is creating one document. That means inside itself, it is creating one more HTML page that is specific to that frame. Okay. So it is kind of secured thing, you can say. So it is starting with HTML, right? So it is ending with HTML. That means inside that particular frame, it is again creating one HTML page. So this is kind of a secured, you can say sub HTML page inside the main HTML page. Okay. So if I go to the body, then I can get any web element of that frame. Let's say I get the project details. Control C, Control F. So just one web element is there which visible text is project details. So let's try to access that directly without switching to the frame. Am I able to access it? Let's say await page expect page dot locator to be visible. What I can take project details. Let's say I'm asserting it that whether it is visible or not. You are saying it is visible, but it is inside the frame. So whether I'll be able to access it without switching the frame or not, we'll see. So what I'm expecting here, I'm expecting it to be failed because I've not switched to the frame, but I'm
Yep.
trying to access it. Now let's run it. So see, it will be trying for those 30 seconds whether it is getting or not, then it will fail it. See what failed. Although it is present, it is getting failed. Why? Because it is present inside frame. Okay. Expected visible, but error that element is not found. So
Yep.
here what I can do is I have to switch to that particular frame. Then I can access the web element. Okay. So for that, what I can do, constant frame. I can get the locator of that frame, whatever locator is there. Let's say I have to do iframe first, iframe. Okay, so one of two. So here SRC is there. Name is there. Let's see, it is Unique, yeah, it is unique. So what I can take the, so if I do iframe means it is the first iframe. So here the name is unique. So what I can do, I can take the name. Name is equal to this I can use. Now here what I can do, again I will be using just like our window handling. Here also I will be using frame dot get by text. That means now I'm using this particular variable to validate whether that is present or not. Understood?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's run it, whether it is working or not. Let's see. See one first. That means now it is working. Okay. So first you have to switch to the frame. Then you can but access the web element. Understood?
Yep.
Yeah.
So for just like window handling, you cannot directly access without switching. So frame and window handling, you need to switch, then only you can access the frames or with the new window which has opened. Okay. Okay. Let's use this. So we saw how to handle if I have a single frame, how to handle that. We saw it. Yes or no? If it is a single frame, it is pretty simple. Just switch to that particular frame and use that particular frame to access the particular web
That
element
is
present
something.
inside. Yeah. Web element present inside the frame. But if there is a chained frame, that means if I have a frame that is present inside another frame, then it becomes complex. Okay. If I have a frame that is present inside another frame, then that becomes complex. So in that case, what we have to do, let's see. So let's do one thing. Let's use this. So in this scenario also, say in this scenario also, what do you see? That I switch to the frame and I access the web element inside the frame. Now again, just if I want to access the any of the web element of that particular frame, sorry, of that particular page, which is outside the frame, again just use page dot that locator, it will work. Just like we did for window handling, right? Same thing we can do. Let's say this page. Let me show you that, then I'll go to this this page only. So let's say these are three frames, but these are not present inside the frame, or this is not present inside the frame. So if I inspect that, and if I want to access those which are not present inside the frame, I have switched to the frame and I have accessed the web element which is present inside the frame. But let's say if I want to access something which is not present inside the frame, okay, see, inside those frames also I have this, but the first one is outside the frame. So now if I want to access the one which is outside the frame, then what I have to do? If I want to access with the one outside the frame, simple. What I can do it, await expect page dot locator dot nth of 0, because the first one is outside the frame. Yes or no?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I will be using dot nth of 0, then I'll be using this locator. Okay. Dot nth of 0 to be visible over this. Not to be visible. That's it. So what will happen now? If I want to access anything which is outside the frame, I have to again do using paste.locator. If I am accessing, if it is inside the frame, then I have to use this variable. If I'm accessing anything outside the frame, I'll use the paste.locator. Same as window handling, it will also work. Okay. Next, we'll see how to handle chained frame. Here there is no nested frame. Here all the frames are siblings. No one is the child of other frame. See one past. Simple. Show you access the frame element in the frame. If you want to access outside the element which are not present inside the frame, use space.locator, it will work. Now the next is I want to access chained frame. That is important. How to handle chained frame. Okay. Chained frame handling. So here what is happening? Here in this particular thing, I have a frame which is the child of another frame. So in this scenario, what I'll do is I'll give the URL here. Then next thing what I'll do is first I'll identify the parent frame. So to identify the parent frame, what I can do, I can take the ID, let's say frame 1. Control C. Frame 1 is, there are two frame 1. So maybe I can take the nth of 0. That's okay. So because this is the first element, so I can take nth of 0. Frame locator. Frame 1. Dot. No, this will not work. So I have to write something unique. Okay. So what I can do? Maybe I can take frame 1 wrapper, Control C, Control V. So that is unique. Nice. So I can use hash frame 1 wrapper plus iframe. So I'm getting 1 of 1. So now I can use it. Okay. So I got the idea of this. Okay. Now, next is I want to get the child frame. I want to now if I switch to the frame, that doesn't mean that I can access this particular thing because that is again present inside one more frame. Let's take that also. Am I able to access it or not? Then we'll see how to build that. Get by text to be visible. Is it accessible or not? Let's check that. Okay, so this is another test I've created. So 2 tests it will run. So let's run it. So this is for the first test it is running. Now for the second test it will open. So it will wait. It will wait for the child frame to be visible. Then it will not find it and it will fail. See, it failed. Because that is present again inside one more frame. Okay, so to access that, so I have to again handle that. Then only it will work or else it will not work. Okay, so to be visible, the element not found. So for that, what I can do? I can use again constant frame 1 is equal to frame.locator. What is the, I can use, let's say, iframe is src of frame. See, this I can use. Now if I use frame 1 here, frame 1 dot. Now see, what I did, frame 1 I created, again using this frame I have to access it because it is, means I have to detect it because it is present inside that frame. So what I did, frame dot again frame locator iframe, because there is just one frame here, iframe here, right? It's just one iframe here, so it will detect that. Okay. Then what I can do, I can use the assertion and it will detect. Let's say that. Now it will open the second one. See, too fast. Now it detected yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. So it's pretty simple. So if it is just a single frame which is not present inside the other frame, just use this text or this code to deal with it. If it is present inside another frame, then you have to handle like this. There are two ways in which you can frames can be present in your page. One is as a individual frame or as a child frame. If it is an individual frame, you have to deal like this. If it is a child frame, you have to deal like this. Clear?
Yes.
Yes. So this was all about how to handle frames. Okay.